Hi guys, Shauna here. Okay, tonight is the last night for the Love Block series. Sorry, I'm a little late. So this will be the last. I think I covered everything here. We went through all, yeah, we just have Taurus and Aquarius. So I'm going to start with Taurus, and then we'll leave, the best for last, that kind of thing. So we'll do Taurus, female, single. I'm going to motor right through these. I think you know the drill if you've watched any of the other ones, or if not, whatever. If you want to know what decks I'm using, ask me. I'll let you know. So I'm going to get right into it here. The first card is my camera set. Holy. Okay. The first card I get for the Taurus female single. Okay, we're starting out with the romance card. Hold on, I got to take a drink. Okay. Man. Okay, 3 of coins. So, yeah. Okay, so we have a Taurus female here, single, right? So there's something here she's working on that she is trying her hardest to force, okay? Either force open, force together, force whatever. She's using brute force to try and work something. And I feel like we're not being, it's just an aggressive sense of personality that I feel from the Taurus female. She's trying to make something work that's, I think she knows instinctively is not meant to work, but wanting to anyway, okay? The next card I get in the romance area here is the 10 of coins. So the 10 of pentacles is, just give me a minute here. I'm getting, they're saying the word enjoyment, okay? So there's something going on here with the Taurus female. She's getting some attention, or somebody is coming at her. And there's a sense of enjoyment here within that. So I'm just going to go with that. Now, we'll continue. Okay, the messenger card I get is time to ground. So we may be kind of off in our mind a little bit, not quite grounded in reality, which is not the norm for a Taurus. Usually pretty sturdy, pretty steady with things. So they might be a little wobbly. By that I mean kind of off in their head a little bit, flying off the ground somewhat. So we'll carry on and see where that leads. Now, the tarot card that I get is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is that grounded energy. So what's going on here? That is her energy, right? She is the queen of pretty much everything. She can handle whatever comes at her. Not only that, she's got a clear head about it. She's calm, centered, collected. She can be very what's the word? Like presentable, that's not the word I'm looking for, but very congenial, very nice and accommodating to people. And that's the feeling I get here, is the pentacles going in a direction, okay? So the focus and the direction that it's going here is the Ace of Wands, okay? So we're still talking about love blocks and love situations. So the Ace of Wands is all that passion, right? And that's the passion going in a certain area, right? This is the symbol that we're talking about. So she's really wanting to accommodate that, maybe having some kind of a romantic partner here, but may not be quite grounded with it yet. I feel like that's what she's maybe trying to force. Maybe trying to force something here that's not quite ready, okay? It's not quite in yet. But nonetheless, I carry on. The next tarot card I get is the 10 of Wands. So that's feeling burdened. And it's interesting because we have this forceful card along with the burden card. So what's going on? Is something she's carrying? Hey, Sandra. Hey, Brandy. How's it going, guys? Sorry. My camera's on one side and my computer's on the other. I'm not ignoring anybody. Thanks for coming in. Okay, so there's some kind of Man, there's some kind of a burden here, but I feel like she's either trying to force someone to look at it, to deal with it, or get someone to deal with it. I don't know. We'll carry on. So some kind of a burden, okay? Now, if we expand on that burden, we get the Hierophant. So there's some kind of a spiritual burden going on here. Either that or she may need help for it. And this is usually not what I attune this card to mean, but it's almost like there's a character around her that she may need to engage the help of. She may need to get help from someone of higher esteem here. The Hierophant is like a trusted person in the public, you know, like even like a psychiatrist, psychologist, somebody yeah, there's something going down here that she needs help with, and I feel like either she's going to go out and get help for it, or she's thinking about going out and getting help for it because it's very burdensome for her. And I mean, the Hierophant, yeah. This is also the Taurus card as well. So that's interesting. Okay, so what I get on top of both of that is see yourself in nature. So again, kind of that grounding feeling. I got the sense here there's something going on in the mind. Nobody really is noticing, but she's kind of noticing, but not enough to help herself out of it. I don't know. I can't understand that. Now, we've gone through all the cards, and I feel like I'm missing something. But anyway, the love card I get. So we're talking about the female single Taurus, and the love card she gets is be supportive and make a genuine effort to show that you care. Okay, here's the deal. The scenario that I'm getting is that she's really kind of over the moon. Not obsessing, but really thinking about someone or somebody, okay, that she wants to date or see or get to know better. So they're basically saying, you know, make the effort to show that you care and be a little bit vulnerable, and you could very easily make that happen. Like get out of your head, you know, and into my car, that kind of thing. Like get motoring with things, because it's like it can happen. But there's see, I don't like time limits that they put, but see, they said time, and the block here is divine timing. So what I was going to say before I actually looked at this card was that there's a time limit here. We're floating on something in our mind, and it's really, the opportunity is going to lose us. So sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. And if a goal isn't manifesting fast enough, according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. That's the push. That's what you're pushing, is the timing. So either you may be, maybe I got it wrong too here, you may be pushing someone into a situation or backing off and not going. But either way, you have to do the opposite of what you're doing. So if you're pushing forward, you need to back off. And if you're not going forward, you need to go forward and show that you care. Because there's something here that it's almost, I get the feeling like this person's going to move, go away, something like that, like permanently. And then it just won't be an option or an issue or a thing, like it won't happen. And it's a good thing. You need to have this happen. But I feel like you're forcing things, so you just have to look at what you're forcing. And I would really, I think you're going to go in a direction to get some, I want to say professional help, but it may not be professional. Maybe just somebody that you respect of higher, you feel is higher knowledge, and you go to them and get the answers, and you kind of follow through with that. And I feel like that person that you do end up going to is going to have some sound advice, right? So there's something here to do with timing issues. You're pushing things. So if you're single, again, I don't agree with it being something you're pushing into. I feel like you're really thinking about it in your head, and wanting to make happen, but not doing anything to make it happen. So you're just staying in your head because it's safe there and you can do and think and feel whatever you want, but you don't have to suffer any rejection or consequences. So that's kind of the thing. It's like, you know, there is timing here, and if you wait too long, you know, another thing too is that partner will get into another relationship, and then it just won't be an option. That's another thing that came up here. So hopefully that helps. Boy, that went kind of quick. 12 minutes. I'm getting in the swing of things on the last few readings here. So yeah, it seems like the female is really wanting to be in a relationship, wanting the passion and the fiery energy. And in the midst of that, she's kind of pushing something forward, but it's kind of against the grain of the universal flow. So you have to figure out where that is. And I think if you sit back and take the time to do that, you will. And then also ground yourself out. Because here too, yeah, this card, a little bit of, you're accepting things, but I feel like it's not from the partner that you want things to go well with. I feel like you've got someone in your head that you're not quite connecting to. So timing here, that's your block. So either you're pushing the timing issue to a bad degree. Either way, you're either not acting on it enough, or you're pushing it, trying to push it forward. Oops. When it needs to kind of take its time, that kind of a thing. So timing seems to be the block here for the Taurus female single. So hopefully you can see that, acknowledge that, and help you move through it to some degree here, and then past it. So it's not a block. It's just something you're aware of, this timing here. And I think intuitively the Taurus knows. I think she's gone like, yeah, I know. But she'd rather, it's kind of, I don't know if it's greedy, but it's kind of like, well, I want it. Why can't I have it? It's here, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, well, I gotta wait for, you know, you got to wait for the water to boil before then it will be right and smooth, right? If you push things, then they can be in an area where they're not right and smooth. So hopefully that helps the Taurus female single move forward. Now we go to the Taurus female in a couples relationship. See where she's going, where she's headed, what she's been doing. Basically seems like we lay out a scenario where they're at, and then kind of go forward into what's hindering any growth in that area. Because even in a couple, you can really, you may be flowing really good, everything's great, but you may have some blocks to just bring you to that higher level, right? So that's what we're trying to gain here, is just evolution in the whole process. So hopefully everybody's having a good, what are we at even here? I have to look. It's Thursday tomorrow, so Wednesday. This week is flying by. I didn't even come in and post today. I didn't realize till I sat down. I'm like, I never posted. I was watching the news today about all the kids in the States there standing up for their schools. I think you got to keep an eye on these kids, because they're really going to show us how it's done. Because it may take them some time to get through here, but I feel like, man, if anybody can take on the world, it's going to be the new kids of the generation, that's for sure. Because I'll tell you, they're not missing a beat. So I'm sending all my power to these kids in these schools. And we're not going to load more guns. We're going to get rid of that. It's going to happen. It's just, I think they got to overthrow the government first. Which, at this point, man, go hard. Because in numbers, that's where you'll win. If any of these kids are from school and seeing this, they know how to do it. They just got to follow through. And these kids, I don't think they're faking it either. They're ready to play. So, again, sending all the power to those kids to deal with it. because they're just going to bring it forward. Now I got 2 more cards here. I think we're good. Sorry, that's my rant. I don't normally get a hold of the news here, but I'm staying with someone else and watching TV, and it's like, whoa. I couldn't sit there and not cry and not feel, right? It's just, you know, in Canada, I don't know. Nobody's excluded. Everybody has to learn from this. It's crazy. Anyway. My sorrow goes out to those kids, victims, everybody. Okay. So we are on the male, or sorry, fast forward. Female couple, Taurus. So the Taurus female and the couple's relationship. Shuffling away. Okay. Here we go. The first card I get, Taurus female couple, it's upside down, is the Ace of Coins. So the Ace of Coins is really about the money, the perspective. And she's looking for it. She's looking to make the money. That's her priority, and that's where she's going to put her energy, okay? And then the next card we get, this is romance again, is 11, the Justice card. So there's something here. And I feel like it, again, I don't want to bring work in, but they're saying, you know, it really is the primary focus. Not only that, there's a lot of injustice around in that area, right? So we're looking to balance things out, and there's a lot of energy going there. So whether she's in a couple or not, this is just where the priority lies. So observant silence is the messenger card I get to overlook all of that. Now the balancing out, and I've gotten this in another reading, they're saying, you know, once you find balance in one area, it kind of filters, kind of leaks into other. So you may be looking at balancing out things or justifying things within your work sector, but then it will actually find ways to filter into. It's like your mind understands this is and feels a certain energy, and then it carries over to other parts of your reality. Like, you know, saying they'll find the balance in the work, but then it'll spread to, I'm saying and it will spread to the relationship as well. But the observant silence, I feel, is like the partner just kind of waiting for her to be done because he knows how much it means to her. Okay, so the tarot cards, 7 of Pentacles, and that's the hard work, right? She's just work bound. So I don't know if she's in a new perspective of work and working her way in there and trying to gain her footing, but there's a lot of work she's putting forward, and she knows it's going to bear fruit, so she's waiting for that, right? And then once that happens, I feel like she really has a plan here to kick back into the personal side of things. Now the next card I get is the 9 of Swords. So there's something here with work that is really, she just can't let anything go until she figures this out, right? I mean, that's your bread and butter, your money comes from. So there's really a hang up here about whatever's going on at work, and until she solves that, man, she just ain't paying attention to nothing else, okay? So the card I get, for the messenger card I get on top of all of that, is know your power. And I feel like she's underestimating her effectiveness here. I feel like she's working, and she's trying to gain all of these accomplishments within work, but she maybe isn't stopping long enough to come from a sense of confidence, just knowing exactly. She's just bearing down and got her nose to the grindstone. She's not seeing anything. The bigger picture is not there. So just, you know, be aware there's power here. Taurus female, she is powerful more than she gives herself credit for. That's really the universal message there. More than she gives herself credit for. She needs to think about that for a while and go forward. Because when you really have that presence within you, people outside of you feel that and they react to it. And nothing's been said. You just feel it, they feel it, and it's a known fact, right? So the next card I get is the Three of Wands, and that's looking at the future, waiting for ships to come in, right? So she's working on this stuff, working to get it figured out. And she now knows that all she has to do is keep on this path and things will bear fruit, right? There's something coming in here and she's waiting for it to happen. Now, the Six of Cups. And they're going, this is the dreaminess. This is when she can start to relax. So there's a sense here, it's just around the corner. We got a little ways to go yet till we get relief or release from all of this stress, right? It's a huge stress and there's absolutely no room for nothing else. And like I said, it's the bread and butter. So she's got to get that figured out. And then she will, you know, kick back into the love zone. And I'm not even picking up on the partner. But there is a sense here where she's slowly like, okay, this happened. Now I can release a little bit. So a lot of stress here for the Taurus female, even as a couple. So I don't know. It's maybe both of them are in a stressful financial state. So, you know, she's bearing a lot of that pressure. I don't know. So the messenger card I got with that is love without condition. And okay, they're saying rewind to before the stressful period. And then we have a situation here where there was a lot of limitations on the relationship, meaning she is putting a lot of, I don't know, it's not barriers, but I won't be happy unless you do this. And that's not what she's saying, but that's the way she's acting. You know, there's a lot of things she's demanding of her partner. But again, not at a sit-down discussion. We're not discussing this. It's just kind of underlying hints and passive-aggressive behavior that's creating zones, right? So this is something she has to, once she gets down to the nitty-gritty of the relationship part, she gets the work side and financial situation all figured out. I think she's going to have to ease up on the partner and not ask so much of them. It's kind of what I'm getting. Demand, yeah, don't demand so much, okay? So the love card we get for the Taurus female in a couple says you are limitless, recognize your truth, you can do anything you choose to do. So, and they're giving me a little flutter here. It may be time to switch gears in the job front. If this is too stressful, too limiting, I feel like there's something she feels she needs to attack here. Something she feels she has to go after, and she knows there's a bit of work that goes into it to flip it over. But at the same time, they're going, you know what, if this is not something she enjoys, she really, this would be a great time to switch gears. So be aware that you are limitless. And if you just sit back and give yourself the chance, which I don't think she's going to sit back in this time, over the next few months, I think is very stressful. But if you sit back and you think, am I happy? Does this work make me happy? Is this going to be something that's going to be more of a stressor in the future and more something that does keep me from my relationships? You know, if that's the way that it is it worth it down the road here? Because I feel like we're not really thinking of the future. We're just dealing with all of the crap that's here. And I'm saying that because that's what's kind of the feeling I get. It's like, just got to deal with this. And it's like, it doesn't ease up. So we have to look down the road and see, is this the way it's going to go forever and ever I'm in? I'm talking about work, you know? So know that you're limitless and recognize you can do anything you choose to do. You just have to sit back long enough and decide if that's exactly what you want to do, okay? So that's kind of a bumper there, helping you out. So your block says, surrender your addictions, whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking. Take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. So we really have, your employer may be a pusher in the work area. You know what I mean? Like they really are loading you and you're like, yeah, no, I can take it. And you don't want to let them down, but at the same time, not putting any boundaries or not recognizing that there are boundaries that can be laid here. You know, that's the thing. They're going, no, it's not even recognition that you could lay boundaries. Maybe you have to start doing that. So, and I'm feeling like a workaholic is the addiction here. So be aware of that. That's your block to love. And I think if, you know, be like, well, yeah, duh, you know, if I can't get this figured out. So it's just a matter of, I think, you know, you're that Taurus, you're taking it by the horns, you're going in there, going to fix what you need to fix, and then you're going to deal with your partner. And then when you do that, ease up on it a little bit, back off your reins a little bit, and just accept your partner as is, and maybe look at the job and go, you know, is this something that's going to prevent me from having a good balanced life? And I feel like this too is a lot of the justice, right? Is this job going to prevent me from balancing a life in a romantic way? You know, and you may have to observe in silence for a while and chew on that and see. I'm using all these analogies, but see, you know, feel it out, give it some time. You don't have to jump right away, but you know, let it sink in for a while and see. Maybe it's just in flux to a degree to really make you think about going somewhere else. And if you did, where would that be? So surrender your addictions, get rid of them, and realize that you're limitless. You can do anything you choose to do. So if you can get a hold of that and that makes sense to you, hopefully that will help you move forward. So, wow, we're just motoring. Okay, so that was the female couple Taurus. So I'll continue on here. So, did I lose my cards? No, I'm good. Sorry. Got a little rodent down there and he's making noise. Okay. Male single Taurus. So there's a Taurus male single. Let's see what's going on there. Starting to heat up, so here we go. Okay. I should have just used one deck. I was thinking. But last deck. So we're doing the Taurus male single. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I think I got them all on the table. Okay. Okay, the first card in the romance area for the Taurus male single is the Two of Swords. So we have a situation where this man is guarding his heart. And even though he is not in a relationship, he is holding back nonetheless. Okay? So he may be holding back from grieving a relationship. He may be just holding back from feeling, period. Okay? The next card we get, interestingly enough, is the kind of the Joker of the deck. And I put that in there to assign it to a none of your business. Kind of like the universe is, the universe holds, say, we can't give you that information. We cannot give you what's going on truly with this man because he is guarding his heart, and the rest we have to keep silent because it could have an effect on this man's life and way forward. So that is a mystery, and there is nothing here to tell. So he's basically guarding his heart, and the romance card is just a blank saying, you know what, there's stuff here we can't relay, and that's that. So the messenger card we get on top of that is need and necessity. And I feel like this too, all of a sudden all this work stuff's coming out. I feel like he is really focusing on his needs, his necessities. What has he got everything he needs in his own right? You know, in a single way. Do I have what I need to go forward? And I feel like in the back of his mind, he's thinking, do I have what I need to go forward and offer a life to someone else, to a partner, right? Do I have enough to take someone in, to really offer up, to bring a family in or a partner in? Do I have enough what it takes? That's really what's going through this guy's mind now. Preparing, for that. We get into the tarot, and the first card we get is 16, the Tower. So there's something going on here where we are not listening to instinct. And the reason I say that is because usually instinctively, when this comes down, man, we've been warned more than once, more than 3 times. Like, we've been warned, and it's obvious. So there's something here that this man is either illusioned about, in an illusion about, or something that has to, the universe trying to get his attention, and it had to come down to drastics. It's a very drastic situation that happened here. So the next card I get is the Queen of Pentacles. So we're talking, we're talking the male, right? So Pentacles, that's earth, that's the element. So it's interesting because I feel like this catastrophe here, this Tower card that came down, I feel like it has to do with the partner that he's trying either to attract or to make room for. I feel like something drastic happened here to really take that out of the equation. Okay, whatever that means. Now, the next card I got, the messenger card on top of all of that, is heed your dreams. So there's something here, this man is blocked from his intuition. So he really needs to recognize what's going on in his dream time, because that's the only the only place this man is aware. He is really flying over or through, or we may have stuff going on in the mind, okay? Like our mind is not in the right place to absorb a lot of this stuff. So we may have, some alcohol floating around, some chemicals that are getting in the way of us seeing clearly, like a huge fog is in there. So they're basically saying, you know what? Hit the dream time and see what you can remember of that. So start a dream journal. If you're Taurus male and you're into this, that will help you a lot. It will make you realize a lot of things that you're just not getting in the everyday. Okay. Now, the next tarot card is the Empress. That's interesting. Because look what we get right beside it. The Empress and the Emperor, right? And then not only that, we have this symbol of this earth. Man, this is a connection here that there's just, it's almost like the Taurus male is resisting it. And it's like, man, you can't resist this one. You can't. And the universe kind of saying it. but slowly things are dwindling to a degree where he has to face something about a relationship here that either he's been in. Look at this. I'm getting a very strong sense. I can't even translate here. The pair. This is the depths of a connection. Okay, we're talking about a highest of the high vibrations. So this Taurus male is really coming into some kind of huge past life connection. Not only that, destined, fate, karmic tide, all of it. It's all wrapped up in this one person. And I feel like they understand that, but they feel so out of control. Yeah, he's feeling really out of control here. And it's interesting because you have these two people and they're both looking ahead. They're not looking at each other, they're looking ahead. So it's almost like the woman is feeling exactly the same as the man. They're both trying to run away from each other, but the universe is going like, we're going to have none of that. This is going to go forward, and you guys are going to get warnings in your dreams about what's going on here. But our plan is, excuse the pun, but our plan is going to trump your plan, and it's going to win through. So something funny going here. Okay. No, the messenger card on top of these two is know your fears. So we've got, okay, yeah, this is what they're telling me to do here. They're like, show all three cards and put the fear in the middle, because that's really what's going on. Is these two, we have a connection here, and they're both being, what do you call that? They're being controlled by their fears. And that has to go. And if it doesn't go, they're just going to get more of this. So whatever that means, okay? So let's just chill here. This Taurus male is on, I think he knows. And I'm not sure that he's told a lot of people about the connection he feels for this person. But for whatever reason, it's disconnected at this point. And on both ends, they just agreed to separate. Okay, but I get a huge sense here that this is like, this will not separate. This has to come together. And I've never had that feeling about any, it's like, well, go if you want to, or you see down the road, things that can come back and forth. They're like, no, you cannot run. This relationship is destined. So the love card we get is, look at your patterns in relationships. Okay, this is the fear thing, right? Look at your patterns in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. And they're going, that's not just for the one, that's for both. That's for him and his couple. Hey Vince, how's it going? I got Aquarius coming up here soon. I'm just into the Taurus male couple, so a little patience. Look at your patterns in relationships. So there's something here, there's a key here to figuring it all out, and a lot of fear about this love. I think the reason, like, me talking about twin flames and all that crap, but I feel like the connection that he's come across here is so deep and so profound, he didn't know what to do but run. And not only that, the partner's running as well, because they just don't understand. They're very much a high vibrational mirror, so they're both running away from each other. And the universe is going, oh no, it ain't gonna happen. So I don't know how they're gonna fix that if they're both running in different directions. But basically, to ease this up, right, for the Taurus male, he needs to look at his inner strength to recognize he needs to change or modify. So there is some changing needs to be done here. He's very resistant to that, but nonetheless, that's the tip. Now, yeah, sorry. Okay, Surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So, yeah, it's like this Taurus male is trying to handle everything himself, but not only that, he's really he's manhandling things, wanting it to go his way. He has to release that, and I think that better ways, better intuitions will come forth, right? Man. Actually, sorry, did I say male couple? Saying that we're on the male single. Okay. Surrender to, yeah, sorry. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So that Taurus energy of wanting to handle everything by themselves, right? Wanting to take charge and bulldoze their way through. They not only do they have to ease up on that going forward, but they have to understand that they have to be able to receive as well as to output, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of output from this Taurus male, but not a lot of letting things in a compassionate kind of way, having to do with love. But there's a lot of fear here about a relationship that's coming. Even though he's single, I feel like there's a relationship that's come, a relationship that's gone, but it will not leave. There's something here. I mean, we got the Emperor and Empress, and not only that, he is the King of Coins, and this is the Queen of Coins. So we've got huge supportive cards here, that there's a connection here that's supposed to be connected, and it's not. And then the universe is trying to make him see that. But he's stubborn, he doesn't want to see it. So that's what's going on. So hopefully, and part of, okay, so the block is that you have to learn to take in the love as well as give it out. And even though you may not be in the giving kind of mood at this point, I feel like you have to understand that there's changes, and you also have to understand that you have to be able to take love in and not just give it, because there's a block here in the way that he will not accept. And I feel this specifically from the Empress that he's dealing with. He's not willing to accept it, but I feel, again, the feeling's mutual. She's not willing to go there either. So there's really something weird going on here. It's like a stalemate, but the universe is going, no, it can't. And I've never heard that before. So for whatever reason, there's a meeting here of a woman, and they've met this woman. It's not going to be a new energy coming in, though there may be growth within the energy over the time that it comes back, but it's definitely there, and they know who it is and what's going on. But too much fear, there's too much love, it's scaring him. That's really what it is, bottom line. Too much love, it's scaring him. He doesn't know what to do, so let's run, because that is better than sitting here in disbelief, and not only that, not understanding or being able to carry it forward. So yeah, crazy stuff for the Taurus. So we went through the female single, female couple. That was the male single. So he's really coming across a soulmate here, basically, is what I'm getting. But you know, this guy may be dipping into so many superficial relationships over his lifetime that he just doesn't understand what depth is. And when you feel it to the core of your being and you don't understand it or never been near it, it's quite scary until you turn the lights on, right? And maybe both these partners are not illuminated enough to see that, to understand that to a degree where there is no fear. And that's really all it is, just fear. What if this person hurts me? They're going, that's the bottom line. They're rejecting the person because they love them so much, or could love them so much, or do love them so much that they could hurt them, and they will not allow that. But the universe is going, they're gonna have to get real here pretty quick, because you can't live your life that way type thing. So pretty harsh words there. But nonetheless, some amazing energy for the Taurus male, so hopefully it works out for him. So now we'll go to the couple, male and a couple, Taurus male couple. So carry on. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty neat energy here. Sometimes it surprises me what comes through. It's like I ain't heard that before. They do that all the time. They like surprising you. That was fun, they say. Okay. So the Taurus male couple, what's going on with him? What is his block? So that's interesting. Not being able to take love in is really the Taurus single block. So we'll see if that carries to the coupled side here. Takes forever. Okay. They always, everything's in threes, you know, the Trinity, that kind of thing. Shuffle how many times? 3 times. Okay, last card already. So we are, where are we with? The male. Have to check. Male Taurus in a coupled relationship. Here we go. First card in romance. Yeah, the Fool. So that is new energy. That's new directions, feeling footloose and fancy free. So we may have a guy who's in a relationship here, but he's feeling like he's not. He doesn't have to answer. Maybe he's in charge, right? He doesn't have to answer to anybody. Or, yeah, that's what I'm getting. Maybe he's in a relationship, but he feels like he's alone. Okay? But in a good way, where he's like, I don't have no limitations. Nobody's going to lock me in, tie me down, that kind of thing, unless they want to. Yeah, he's feeling good, but in a weird kind of disconnected way from his partner. Okay, so we'll carry on. The next card I got is the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is about celebrating, going out, socializing, being with friends, being happy, and not letting anything hold you back. And that's, I think, this is really a reflection of that. Yeah, very single. This man is feeling very single. And almost, I'm trying to figure out if the energy is, in a, what's that? Not conniving, but in a way that's like, I'm going to do it, you know what I mean? In a flippant kind of way, almost like in your face, I'm going to do what I want to do. So I'm trying to figure out if that's actually where he's sitting with the partner or not. So we'll continue on here. The messenger card I got in between the Fool and the 8 of Cups is reveal your mask. So maybe this is what this guy's trying to do. Maybe this Taurus male in a coupled relationship, he's trying to get rid of that person that his partner thinks he should be. Okay, so that means that he may be feeling, yeah, it's like, break the chains off of me. I'm not who you think I am, darling. And not only that, I'm going to go and I'm going to start being the person that I've always been. I just haven't been around you. So, yeah, that's that new energy coming in, okay? So this guy, he's feeling footloose and fancy free, and it's part of the spiritual evolution of him, but he's doing this within a relationship. So beware if you're if you're the partner to this guy, because you may be in for some surprises here. And I don't know which way that's going to go, right? But either way, he's trying to let go of other people's expectations of him, and he's just going to be who he's always been, but never told anybody about. If that makes any sense. I think if you're the Taurus male in a couple, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but others around him may not. But they're going to find there's a little bit of a weird side coming out in this guy, but he's just letting the chains loose. He's just breaking out of the, it's like they're showing me a coffin. He's breaking out of the coffin. And I don't mean to say he's dead, but he felt like he was dead for so long because of all the expectation. I'm supposed to act this way. I'm supposed to act that way. And I got a feeling of just let me be who I want to be. Let me do what I want to do, and I'll be fine. So I think he's searching his soul to find out who he is. And he's realized it, and now he's coming forth with it. That's what's going on. So the tarot card I get for the Taurus male in a couple is the Five of Swords. So all that energy, right, is going to create conflict. We are going to start creating havoc in our relationship. Because not only are we in, you know, we're changing our vibration, really, is what's going on. And the partners staying the same. I feel like the partners not going to have a good time with this. But the Taurus male is going, so what? So you don't like it, leave. That's what I'm getting. It's like he's been held down too long, and now he feels like he's got to break free. And anybody gets in his way, there's the bull and the horns. And the push, you know, it's just going to go. So there's a lot of struggle here and strife at the expense of someone else. And I feel like it's going to be the partner. So as we move on, we get the Hermit, which is good because the Hermit is going inside and figuring things out. And I think like he's done this. I feel like the Taurus male has done this before. He's made some realization, goes out and acts on them. He kind of zones out, and now he's doing it again. He's going to go in. He's breaking the mask off, okay? And then he's taking a checkpoint. So he's breaking the mask, and now he's going to start going inside again and analyzing. Did I do the right thing? Should I be doing this? Is this truly how I feel, or am I just kind of having a hormonal state, right? Like that's what he's going to do. He's going to go inside, figure it all out, and move forward. But that's after he creates all the havoc. He's going to create havoc first, then he's going to recluse and go, wait a minute. Okay, am I doing the right thing, or what's going on here? So the Messenger card, which is really the spirit talking, right, is nourish the soul. So if your soul is smiling when you're doing this, keep going because you're on the right path. And I feel like this Taurus male, he may not, well, he can be instinctual, or what do you call that? Yeah, he can listen to his instinct, but he doesn't like doing that. It's like he doesn't want to cave to that, you know? It's almost like he sees his following his intuition as a weakness. But there's something cracking here in him, because I feel like that's just his old ways, right? That's just the way he was raised, the way his parents were raised, his grandparents, his great-grandparents, all the way down the line. It's that stubbornness coming out in him, and it's like, I don't want to cave to anybody's opinion but my own, right? And he's got to break through that because there's instincts coming in here. It's very rewarding. And I don't know that, like right now, he's just trying to please himself, and he realizes that I'm not being myself when I'm in this relationship. And he's trying to figure that out. So nourish the soul. If it's feeding your soul, if it's making your soul happy, if you know what that is, then keep going there. The next card I get is the Six of Pentacles, and that's the give and take. You're looking at the relationship. Is she giving me as much as I'm taking? Am I giving her as much as she's taken? Are we balancing out? Is everything equal here? Or is somebody being taken advantage? And he's not above looking at his own self in that. He's going, you know what? Are they giving to me? Okay. And he'll flip it and go, am I giving to her? Am I being a good partner? This is what this is about. Give and take, and we need to have a balance out. So he's really worried about, he's really conscious about this, which is good. Because when you're in a relationship, you have to think of the other part. The next card I get is the Five of Pentacles. So somewhere along the line, we're going to feel like we're left out, okay? So if we're creating havoc and we're trying to take off our mask and creating all this whatever, there's a point here where there's going to be a backlash, okay, from the partner. So the partner may take off. You may have a situation where they leave for a few days. So watch that. You know, watch that you're not kind of taking it out on your partner. All of this awareness that you're coming across and breaking free. It's like you're breaking free and all the chains are flopping on your partner. So you got to be aware of what you're doing there. I think they're just breaking out and not knowing how much damage they can do to the partner, but they're damaging nonetheless. It's like they're fighting their spiritual freedom and their partner gets punched in the mix. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're just on the sidelines, but they get punched out and they're all like, oh, how did that happen? You know? So there's a bit of strife and struggle that comes with this, but that's kind of the way the Taurus attacks things, right? It's kind of all or nothing. The messenger card I get is show that you care, and that's, I feel like he's going to naturally zone into this because he's creating havoc, and the partner's going to give him time to go inside and think, because she's really going to just say, you know what, I'm going to give you a day or 2 days or a weekend, or I'm going out with the girls or whatever. He's going to have that time to think, and he will. He'll go to the right place he needs to go. But then when it all comes back, you have to really ground yourself out and show that you care, not just talk. So that's a huge thing now, is we have to act, not just think and speak. We have to do. So we just have to show that the partner, when they come back, because I feel like there's going to be a bit of a, whether it's just even them taking off for the afternoon to go for coffee with the buddies because you have a blowout, then that's what it is. And when they come back, you know, cool yourself off and show that you care, that they made an effort to leave you alone because you know, they know you so well that you need that time, right? So in a way, that's a good thing. So this is what I'm seeing, a little bit of a kerfuffle going on. So the love card here, I got to get carried away. The love card here is demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. There it is again, right? Show that you care. Go forward in loving feelings. And they're not saying, you know, be true to your soul, be true to that. But just share it with your partner in a loving way. It's almost like you're breaking out, but the partner is getting blown away in the process. And that's not your intention, but it's happening. So you have to be aware of, you know, not blowing off on your partner in that way. Now the block. Oh, this is so a Taurus thing. Okay. It says surrender to stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself, and that's that partner. Because I feel like you're frustrated with life in general, but your partner's getting all the backlash from it. It's like you're taking it out on your partner, but you don't think that you are, but they're kind of feeling it in that way. So surrender stubbornness. This is no mystery, I don't think, to the Taurus male. He realizes he can be stubborn. And there's a lot of people that tell him that he's stubborn. And so he knows that he's stubborn. So he just has to ease up on that, and that will help him out. But that's a lifelong thing, I think, for these Taurus males. So yeah, some stubbornness there. And not only that, you know, as I was saying earlier, the spirits are saying, you know, yeah, get through, break through. We want you to be the you that you don't want to feel restricted. They don't want you to feel, so break out of that. But don't hurt the partner in the process. That's what they said. Don't hurt your partner in the process. That's all. So yeah, stubbornness, which is no real surprise, I don't think, for the Taurus male in a coupled relationship. So hopefully that helps you figure some things out. And if you see this before you have the blowout, maybe think about that a bit. Think about it in a way that you can maybe not have it. I don't know that that will happen, but you may, you know, rethink that, back it up a bit, and realize that the partner, because I just see everything just going to the partner in a coupled relationship. And she's understanding in that way, but at the same time, she's kind of taken aback, like, ooh, you know, her hair's blowing back, and she doesn't know what to do. But it does hurt at the end of the day. She's kind of sad about it, upset about it, because she feels like it's her fault, yet she knows intellectually it's not, but she's feeling in her heart that it is. And the Taurus male is kind of not really understanding that. So hopefully that can get cleared up. So Taurus male and a couple men, that's your block, stubbornness. So figure that out and you'll move forward. Okay, so we are now on to Aquarius. Oh, hey, Amanda. She's not an Aquarius. Yeah, hers, I did hers already. But we will get on to the male here, and we'll figure things out. Oh, boy. Like it is, I say it. Like it is. Thanks for coming, guys. Okay. So we are now on pages. Aquarius, female, single. So I am split, but I resonate highly with, I shouldn't tell on myself here. I'm shaking the finger at my own self. I resonate highly with Aquarius more than I do with Pisces. So all the readings out there, I'm more air than I am water. So this is essentially my reading. And I do, by the way, I do watch my own readings like weeks after, and I go, oh man, I'm saying that to that's not right. I'm saying that to myself. It's not right. And it's true though, and I want to smack myself because it's true. It's sad, but yeah, I do watch my own. I have to give them a few weeks to kick in, but yeah. Okay, so the Aquarius female single. Shuffle time. Okay, holy, what do I got left? I have 2 more cards. My hair is not cooperating today. I feel like I got a hair on my face, but it's not there. Last shuffle. Oh yeah. So card 0. Okay, Aquarius, female, single. First card I get on the romance is the Knight of Wands. So we have a single woman here, and we have a Knight of Wands. So that's a fire energy. So an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius that may be coming into your midst here, okay? He is fast and furious, though not as fast as the the Knight of Swords. He's not as fast and as aggressive, but he's nonetheless charging in here. So we have a fire sign coming in the picture. Okay. The next card I get is the Ace of Swords. I gotta look at this. The Ace of Swords is about cutting through to the truth. Okay. So we may have a fire sign. Okay. For some of these Aquarians, we may have a fire sign that's trying to get to the bottom of things. Okay. Either with you or you with them. Okay. So there's a high frequency here for cutting to the chase. I'm getting to the bottom of this, and there's going to be no more illusion here. So the Aquarius female really not wanting to deal with any more mysteries. Okay. The Messenger card I get on top of that energy is share your thoughts. So we have some communication going to be going back and forth between these two. So there's a fire sign energy that's going to want to mix here highly with the Aquarius female, and there's huge discussions. And not only that, they're urging you to lay it all out on the line. Like they're going, if you're going to demand it, you sure as hell better bring it forth, right? So that's the thing. They're going, not only do we need to demand it of people outwards, but we need to give it as well. So keep that in mind moving forward. Now when we get into the tarot here, wow. Okay, we get the Knight of Cups. So that's a new energy coming in. Now, this is separate, okay? And this is going off the reading I had for Valentines. So the Knight of Cups is a love offer, isn't a person that's in your face, you're going to know, you're going to see, da-da-da. Someone coming from the heart with emotion, okay? Next card I get is the Page of Pentacles. So when you put these two together, the Page of Pentacles is about knowledge, gaining knowledge, but in the beginning stages. We're trying to figure something out, and we're trying to get higher learning. Now, the Knight of Cups here, he's just charging into that knowledge. He wants to know things. He wants to find out things, okay? So that energy coming in is in the form of, I'm going to get to the bottom myself. So we have two people here that want to get to the bottom of things. One's an outside energy. One's the Aquarius female energy. Now, the Messenger card I get on that is love without condition. So I feel like there may be, within these energies that are coming out the Aquarius female, I feel like there's one here that they're using the word struggle, that she's struggling with. Okay, she's either struggling with the friendship, or lost the friendship, or there's something going on here that's a struggle within one of these energies. Okay, it's either a fiery, passionate one coming forward, or soft, caring one. Okay, but nonetheless, everybody's trying to get to the bottom of things. So what you have to keep in mind, being the Aquarius female, you have to really not only share your thoughts, but man, love without condition. Don't put any barriers between you and these two men, these two people coming forth. You drop all the barriers. There's something here with that. We have to be completely vulnerable to these two people to get to the truth, right? And because there's something here everybody's blocking, and we need to understand that that needs to be let go in order to make any headway. Now, the next card I get for the female is the Knight of Wands. That's giving up, feeling like you want to give up. You've put a lot of work and effort into something, and it just hasn't paid off for you, okay? So you're really wondering, should I even bother anymore? This is just at the edge of your rope here, right? Last straw, that kind of thing. So really not feeling it, but there's so much work that's been put in. It's almost a pity to let things slide. The next card I get is the Three of Wands. So even though, okay, how'd this go? Even though you've got this stuff that you're sitting on, and it's very taxing, and it's very, you're feeling very much, you want to let it go. This card, sorry, this one. This card here is symbolizing, you know, you're still kind of waiting on things. You're waiting for things to change, even though they haven't, and you're fed up, but you're still waiting. You're still looking to the future, waiting. So there's something here that it's kind of on hold, but you feel like there's going to be a benefit to it in the future. Now, my throat. Here we go. The communication is not happening. So this Aquarius, okay, got it. When people can't communicate, they take my voice away. So there's something here with the Aquarius female. She is not communicating from who she is. She needs to speak outward, say it loud, say it clear, and say it to the exact people, because they're going, you know, those people that you think you shouldn't say it to those first. Those are the ones that need to hear it. If you're feeling, no, I shouldn't say, those are the ones that you need to come forth. So Spirit is saying, seek your destiny. Go forward in truth, and that has to do with speaking your truth outward. And I feel like the Aquarius female is really taking a cynical stance here and going, well, nobody freaking listens anyway, so why should I waste my breath? And not only that, I feel like this area that she's been in, I feel like she said her piece almost to the point where she has no more voice to say it anymore. It's not getting through, right? So yeah, they're showing me the geometric shape. I don't know if you could see it, the spiral in the middle there. They're going, this is really you have to go outward like that in truth. In every direction, you have to spit out your truth, because it's preventing you from better results with people. That's what they're going. It really is your fault because you're not telling your truth here. And because you don't tell your truth, you can't expect people to, if you're wearing a mask and they're not wearing a mask, they can't get to the bottom of things. So that's really what it's about. Okay, so the love card that I get for the Aquarius female single is listen with your heart. You're listening to what's being said, but you need to listen with a loving heart. So there's something here, the Aquarians, right? They're very airy, they're very mental, right? They'll think and whatever, but when it comes to getting into their heart and sitting in there for a while, it's very uncomfortable. They don't stay there for very long. If they're, starting to tear up, then they'll do something that makes them stop or stuff it or whatever. So they really have to jump into that, feel that out, and move forward in their heart rather than their head. They've got the head figured out. They just really have to come from a more compassionate center. So listening with your heart as well as talking with it. So the block says surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale tension you've built up in your body and let the stress go as you come back to your center. So we may have some people that are a little frazzled, the Aquarians anyway. They're frazzled and they're not quite in their center. Even in their mind, it's kind of sputtering all over the place, right? So the stress that you're carrying at this point seems to be a problem. Block. Not a problem, it's a block. So you just gotta be aware of that, understand that, and work to remove it. So letting, because they're showing me how, if you want to get a massage, you can't get a massage all tensed up, right? You gotta loosen up, and then you get the benefits. That's kind of how they're going here. We gotta let go of the stress, and then we can benefit with more of the good stuff coming in, leaching in through that. So hopefully that made sense for some Aquarian singles. Seems like they've got some characters coming in here that are gonna, I think they're gonna give her an opportunity to learn to speak her truth. And whether she takes that or not, that's the question, right? So really giving her an opportunity to open up. But I don't know how she's gonna deal with that. but nonetheless, she will have that opportunity. She just needs to take advantage of it, really. Not only one opportunity, but two directions she can take that with. So one is a more heart-centered place, and the other one is he's just fiery and action-oriented, and a little, I wouldn't say fast for her, not mentally anyway, but action-oriented, yeah, because she kind of wants to stay in one spot at this point. Literally, like she doesn't want to go out to do too much. She'll go out, but on a more low-key way. That's what I'm feeling from the Aquarius. But this male coming in is definitely stirring her up in that way. And then one is just maybe, not maybe, basically a heart-centered, to get her to see, this is what it's like. This is what it's like. Come from your heart. That's me. And she'll recognize that and go, ooh, that's cold, you know, because to her, it's hard to get in that zone of heart, right? So it's going to be, I refer to that as going into the water at the beach, you know, in the ice water. It's like, ooh, that's cold. So you just kind of stay there. You don't go any further. But she's going to have to go further because she's just got to do that to advance. So stress is your blocks, so ease up on that, and everything else will just filter in because you're really at the end of the zodiac there, and it's in your field. You just have to kind of absorb it, but there's a little resistance there. So now, Aquarius female in a coupled relationship. Randy, you still around? Amanda, if you've already done Pisces, when can I watch it? You know what? It's on my feed here, so if you're on the line, you can watch it at any time because it's looped. It's also on YouTube though as well. I have it through my readings on YouTube. I shot it out there, so I got it as love blocks. I think it's either one or two in there, so it's either under the YouTube. Or you can scroll back in my Infinity page and find it there. So it's just a little deep there. It might be a little deeper then. But yeah, you can watch that after I'm done, while, whatever. It's all there. So, okay, where am I? How are we doing? 8:19. Oh, a little behind here, but whatever. Actually, no, we're not bad. 15. Yeah, a little behind. Okay, so Aquarius female couple. Next time, again, I'm only going to stick with one bloody deck. It takes 10 minutes to... Most of these videos are an hour and a half, but it's like half an hour shuffling. Okay. Last one, yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Okay. Aquarian in a couple, female, still on the females here. Here we go. First card in the romance, we get the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is really about putting your best foot forward. Aw, thanks, Betty. Damn straight. Ten of Wands, yeah, putting your best foot forward there, right? You need or want to impress someone, right? So that's what it is. Putting your best foot. Kind of, they're telling me walking on eggshells. So That was their word, not mine. Okay, the next card is the Four of Coins. So that's interesting because that card is always about, to me, about a secret admirer, and we have a man here looking at a woman. So we're talking about the female in a couple. And they're going, yeah, it's in the couple. So it's almost like your husband is secretly admiring you more than he's letting on, okay? And for some reason, I feel like there's a game going on here. Let's just figure this out. I feel like, just give me a minute. Okay. I wonder if my buddy, okay. It's, okay, this, I gotta translate this, Kay. What's going on is I feel like the Aquarian female in the coupled relationship, she's kind of, I'm seeing her literally tiptoe around her partner. But her partner's kind of giggling, going, yeah, and I meant it too, almost like he's putting on a show, trying to keep her on her toes, but in the meantime, he's kind of laughing because she's really accommodating him. She's really, you know, he's controlling her and getting a kick out of it, but not in a bad way. I think it's more of a light-hearted, light-spirited way. It's like, I told you what I meant, but he's not as serious as he's letting on, but he's just kind of testing the partner. That's what I'm getting. Oh, man. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. And she's going, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll do whatever, you know, da, da, da. For some reason, she's kind of not snapping into the whole game vibe here, okay? So the card I get from Spirit is Embrace the Masculine. So there's something here, okay, because not only is she kind of tiptoeing around the partner, but there's creating a little bit of a distance. But I don't feel it's anything dark. I just feel like she's not on his wavelength at this point. She's kind of taking things seriously, but not heavy and not burdened. And he's taking things completely light. Like, he ain't taking nothing seriously. Not only that, he is telling her to do things just to see if she'll do them. He's going out and going, okay, can you do this? Like, I don't feel well. Like, this kind of game, like, I don't feel well. Can you do this? And she's hopping. And she's going. And she's doing whatever he says. So he's getting a kick out of this. But I feel like he's going to come clean with it. But he's, in the process, he's fallen in love with her more because he realizes, you know, normally, like, what's going on here? Like, the planets are aligned here. She's doing all this stuff for me at the snap of a finger. But he realizes how much she truly cares, right? So it's a bit of a game where he's just kind of using his power in a goofy way. But she's actually going ahead and doing all this stuff, accommodating him. But at the same time, not kicking in, that he's just kind of kicking around, right? So, goofing. He's goofing on her. So anyway, next card I get is the Ten of Wands. Oh, okay. So here we go with the darkness. What? Give me a minute. I have to backtrack. Ten of Wands is about burdens, burdening things that are going on. So the Aquarian female, though I think she's accommodating her partner to a serious degree, like, whatever you want, yeah, okay, we'll deal. And she's just dealing with things as it goes, right? Trying to put her best foot forward to her partner. I feel like there's something outside of the relationship that is burdening her nonetheless. Now, whatever it is, like, let's say it's work, the Four of Swords, she's taken a break from it. And that's why I get this playfulness of the couple, is because she's really got a lot more time to focus on the partner, and the partner is so taking advantage of that. But at the same time, he's not going to let it go on for too long, and it's really going to endear him more to you. But at the same time, whatever it is that's burdening you at this point, you're really stopping and taking a break from it. You're trying to get away from it. Like, say it's work, you're like taking time off. You're vacationing. I'm taking all my vacation time, and I'm zoning out. I'm gonna go home, be with the family. This makes me happy. This is what I'm doing. getting away from all the chaos. That's what I'm doing. So that's a sense of what I'm getting here, like literally it's a work thing or something outside of the home that is really creating frustration. So you're hibernating in the home, and I feel like the home is really safe and happy environment anyway. So you do have that safe harbor away from all that energy, so you will recharge. Now, the spirit card I get is know your fears. And I feel like this Aquarian female, I think she understands her fears, but may not know how to deal with them. Okay, she's seeing them, understand, but how do I fix that? How do I go, how do I go a step beyond this? So I think she's an understanding of this, but just not knowing how to move forward. And this is the way that she's doing it. And I'll tell you, it's not off track. I think going and being with things that make you happy and make you feel grounded, safe, if you're feeling the opposite in a direction, you get away from that. I think she's doing all the right things, but she doesn't realize she is doing that. She feels like she should be doing more, but she's doing it all right. So nothing to worry about there. The next card I got is the Ace of Pentacles. So again, the money, right? Worrying about where it's going to come from, even though, and I'm getting seriously a scenario where someone is taking time off, taking time away. They're like, I don't care. It's going to strap me, but I don't care. I need to get away. Because they're really rebalancing things, trying to either, like I said, either get another job, go in a different direction, or trying to switch things up, or just literally leaving because you just had enough. So this Ace of Pentacles usually is a harbor of good news, but I feel in this way it's kind of a little bit of that stress from the money, because you're like, either, yeah, something's with the money, because you're sacrificing that, but it's a good way spiritually, because you need to do that to gain your composure. Otherwise, you're just drained out, stressed out, and you don't have the patience to deal with anything. So after this break, I feel like you're going to get that all back. And not only that, you'll get answers and intuitive hints of how to deal forward. And then after the Four of Pentacles, we get the Four of Cups. And in this deck, it's kind of like contemplation, right? So that's really what I was picking up on as well, with the taking time out and thinking things over. Is this direction I want to go? Can I do more here? Or am I locked in? Am I stuck in a rut in this situation? Am I getting paid enough? Should I ask for more? These are all things that are going through this Aquarian in a couple's mind. Like, really, I wouldn't say at a crossroads, but at a turning point. Things got to change, and feeling that to a high degree. So the Spirit card that we get is know your power. Again, underestimating the power that she has within the place that she feels this havoc. She really has to communicate outward about that. Because, and I was getting this before for the Aquarian in a couple, or Aquarian period, about going outward and telling, you say, jump, and they'll go, how high? Like this, and you go 2 meters, and they'll jump 2 meters and measure. Like, this is what's going on. Like, they have, but she doesn't feel, she's like, they're not even going to listen to me. Not only, they're going to say, what? Huh? And turn around and walk away. Like, she underestimates her own power, right? So that's telling you how you do have power to make change. You just have to decide whether you want to stay there once that change is in place, right? Because that's really what it is. So that's the situation. So another kind of a work vibe here. Getting away from work to focus on better, happier things, which is absolutely in line. It's all good. Now, the love card we get is honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it's important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. And they're going, this is across the board. In your family, it's absolutely, I think you can spit and sputter, but they know that you may be taking it out because of things that are going on in different areas, so they understand that about you. But at the same time, at work, we're not loving work, but we need to speak truthfully in that area more. They're going, it's just not catching. It's not catching to speak her truth. She just feels like she needs to be muted and put up with it or leave. That is the only option, but there's way more options here. And one of them is speak your truth and demand change, and then you can leave. Then you know you've done all that you can do when you fought for the change that you want. But you have to make sure that you want to be there once they incorporate that change. So I think that's really the dilemma. Do I want to be with this community of people once change is made? See if that changes things. So honesty is essential. And I don't feel like these Aquarian females, I don't think they're liars. I think they're just really holding back a lot, really reserving a lot to themselves and thinking in their minds are going nuts, but they're not saying it out of really out of graceful. If they're feeling like that's the graceful thing, that's the adult thing to do or the mature thing to do, but in reality it doesn't create any pathways for you. It just makes you feel more stuck. So the block, surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation, and if you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you're energized and happy, move forward. And that's exactly what she's done. I feel like she's done already. She's indulging in the good stuff because the stuff over here feels bad, so she's going to the good stuff. So that pattern in itself is making headway for good change. So she just has to implement that more often in her life and more often in work. Like she really has to dive into that. So the block is that you're not listening to your body. You're intuitive, and your body is sending off signals all the time. And I mean, certain people in different ways, they get it from, sometimes if you're a fire sign, you get it usually up in your head. You know, fire, or especially in Aries, will get a lot of head work going on, like headaches. When things aren't going right, they're not listening to things, their bodies, headaches. And then, you know, Pisces, right, the feet, and there's different body parts. But not only that, limited to that, there's literally your gut starts going off. You get a stomach ache. People say, well, I see that, it makes me sick. Well, that's because it's not right, and it doesn't, it's sad. And, you know, these are all the signals that I think the Aquarius is letting pass to a certain degree and not understanding, not being aware, okay? You're not letting it pass. You're very aware that it's there, but not aware why it's there. So surrender to your body signals. Look at those on a deeper level, and that'll get you further. Yeah, further. Look at the spiritual, like everything on the internet, just look, the spiritual meaning of butterflies, boom, it's there. Anything. Spiritual meaning of a muscle cramp in your right calf, there's something there. It's amazing. And sometimes, more often than not, I find that it's surprising what you get from those things. It can be bang on. So don't rule those things out. You sometimes have to think about it a little bit before you can be that honest with yourself, right? It's talking about honesty going outward, but sometimes you have to be more honest with yourself in order to realize some things, especially when it comes to the body. So for the Aquarius, female in a coupled relationship, good luck. Listen to your body signs. They're giving it off like mad. So we just need to do that. So what do we got here? 130 and a male single. Aquarius male single. Oh man, been your last. It'll be worth the wait, hopefully. Okay, so the Aquarius male single is the next up here as soon as I get my shuffling done. Alrighty. Good. Alrighty. So flip them all around. So the Aquarius male single. Good to go. First card we get is the Page of Coins. So that is the, along with the Fool, this is the footloose fancy free dude, but he's a little calmer. He's not so on the edge. The Fool's running around going, I'm free, I'm free. This guy's sitting on the corner playing his flute and being very content. Okay, so that's this dude. He's a page, but he has a lot of calm, grounded knowledge. Like I said, he's got his money and his song, and that's all that matters, and he's very happy. So being in a relationship is kind of the last thing on his mind. Okay, now here's the reason why. The Eight of Wands, I won't say Canes are, but Eight of Wands is about a karmic tied relationship. So this dude may have, the Aquarian male single may have just gotten out of a karmic tied relationship. This is why he is feeling a lot of this. A lot of like, I'm just going to go on the street corner and play my flute and nobody bug me, including the woman that I just got out of a relationship with. Now, I feel too strongly that this guy in this relationship, like while they were in it, there was a lot that was learned in this short period of time here. Very tumultuous, very like a struggle of a relationship. And he has not processed that yet, okay? That's the sense I'm getting. He's kind of just feeling the freedom, feeling the freedom of being out of the relationship and the de-stress of all of that, and all of the lessons have not sunk in yet. So that's coming up, okay? Now the messenger card on top of that is time to ground. So I feel like part and parcel, that's going to be what's happening when he decides to go over the relationship, though he may not be grounded at this point. And by grounded, I think they mean less chaotic in the mind. I think he's still at the bitterness stage, right? He's still going over stuff and you know, that kind of thing. It's just so the anger's still lingering, so it's kind of like we need to kind of get away. But time, right? It's just going to take time. So as we move into the tarot cards, I get the Four of Cups, and that's thinking about things. And so this may be a little closer than I first perceived there down the road. He may get into this energy, right? Because it's kind of like he's in the contentment, but it's almost like an ego contentment. It's like, yeah, I'm good, I'm fine, you know, but he's really holding a lot of tension. So he's going to relax into a better energy, more of an emotional energy, right? Because that's ego trying to cover things, and then he's going to sink into that, the emotional sense, and kind of feel that out. Yeah, it's done, it's over, I'm feeling it. Even though I'm glad it's gone, it's still there. And, you know, going over some of the details, right? Getting him into his heart zone. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So just give me a minute. Okay. So what they're telling me here is, like, usually this is about good prospects and money, career, that kind of thing. But they're going, you know, look at that gate. I don't know if you can see it here with the glare, but behind that gate is a lot of glittery stuff going on behind that gate. And that's kind of like he has to get through that gate, and the gate is dealing with this, you know, whatever happened here with that relationship is really processing. And then once we get beyond that gate, which is emotional freedom from this relationship, then we're on our way. Then the financial prosperity will start. Either they're going to come back. So maybe through this, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I got to rethink this. Now, what's happened to this dude, okay? When he came across this relationship, everything started going wrong. okay? His career started falling apart. Either he lost pay or he took too much time off and things were starting to fall apart there, either slacking on work or things just naturally, I think in his mind it's naturally falling apart, but there was a key here he was missing. So they're saying, you know, things were falling apart, and now he has to deal with that emotion, and then they'll start to come back together. He has to build himself that castle, and then it'll start coming at him. But for some reason, this relationship, which it sounds like it was fated, right? Karmic, when this relationship started to go downhill, everything went downhill. And he just couldn't bring himself back from it. So they're going, you know what? You just have to feel yourself through this, get through the dumps, and you'll be back on your way. Like, this is good prospects in that way. So it'll start coming back, okay? Okay. Then the messenger card is follow the moon. So don't be so regimented about planning every single step from here forward. Just let the air carry you where it may, because there's something about, no, I'm going to go this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to keep, and it's almost to a degree, I got to keep myself busy because I don't want to deal or think about this. But on another degree, it's like, well, I got to move forward, I got to get things better, and da da da. So follow the moon, let the universe take the drivers, right? Loosen up a bit on your direction, let things kind of come at you. I'm not saying be lazy or omissive about things that come your way, but let things come at you. I don't know if you understand that, but follow the moon is really about the illusions of life, you know, things that you can't plan, that you don't know what's going to happen next. So kind of be in that energy a little bit more. It'll serve you better. Next card I get is the Ace of Wands. So that's really what we're trying to fight. I have to be careful here. It's conflict. We're trying to fight acting on things to avoid, because we don't, and that's what they're saying is he's going to act more fervently on things because of this relationship. He's just going to bulldoze in another direction to kind of in spite of the relationship, but he needs to really act on it from a sense of grace within himself, because he's not in a sense of grace. They're going, that's completely lost. He's still in chaos to a degree. He may look okay on the outside, but inside he's still struggling with that. So they're wanting you to be aware of that. When you act, do it in a graceful way. And if you can't equate grace with what you're doing, then kind of just hold back a bit. Let things kind of unravel instead of pushing things forward. The next card, Seven of Pentacles. So that's working and building and trying to build things back. And I feel like that's really what they're talking about. It's not going to be long. Like, you're really going to look back and go, well, what the hell? My whole life fell apart and blah, blah, blah. But there was really more there for you to see than just my life was falling apart with this relationship. There's more there. There's something, and they're going, yeah, you can't tell him. He has to figure it out himself. He has to learn that himself. And I feel like down the road you will, when you get emotionally healed from this, completely healed, it'll just kind of pop one day and you go, oh yeah. And you put two and two together, basically. So working towards, you've put a lot of work in to something, and I feel like this is not a relationship. I feel like this is more getting back on track with things, getting your life back in order, and to a degree it means being successful in a single way, right? Because you're male single that come out of a hugely effective, it wasn't very long, was chaotic and tumultuous, and just everything was packed in there. So it was a whirlwind, and now you're just trying to straighten your hair, get everything back organized. And that's really what's going on. And you're building, and you'll be successful in that. So the next card, I got the Messenger card. These Aquarians, they got to know their fears, right? So we're not paying enough attention to what it is that we're running, because they're going, the fear's there, but they're not confronting it. They're just avoiding it, right? They're just running from it. but they need to kind of confront it. They need to stand up, take a stand, and go past that. But they're not even challenging it. So this male single is not challenging his fear, and that may have had something to do with the relationship as well. There was a fear of something there that prevented you from having a smooth sailing. That's what they said. Smooth sailing? No, because he wasn't seeing his part. He wasn't taking responsibility for the fear-driven behavior that he had within the relationship, okay? So hopefully that helps, because that's really forward. Moving forward, you have to confront your fears and push through them. Because they're going, that's a fear, I'm going over here. Like they completely changed 180, 360 direction and go the other way. So, you know, that's the thing. They're like, yeah, we realize our fears and we avoid it, but that's not what we want you to do. We want you to confront it and conquer your fear. That's what they want. Okay, boom. Now, the love card I get for the Aquarian male single, a lot of heavy energy for him. He's going to be spitting and sputtering for a bit, I think. New love. Wow, okay. Embrace this new opportunity for love that is here, and this may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. And they're going, yeah, he will not be open to love in a format, in a physical format, but he will be open to opportunities. Like the universe is going to kiss you with opportunities through work to build yourself back, get your life back in order. The universe is going to kiss you all over with that. And then you're just going to go forward with that. And so that'll build you back into that positive state of mind. And then from there, because they're going, oh yeah, we can have love opportunities, but he ain't going to take it in. There's no way. He's just kind of cantankerous. You're like, I don't care. It's a woman. Get out of here. Like, you know, just not receptive at all. But you will accept the opportunities in work that come at you. So that's the way they're going to feed you. And you're putting effort in, so it's symbiotic what you're doing there with the universe. And yeah, as well, right? Catching. So that's really that where she's catching the fallen star. That's going to be you with the opportunities that are going to kind of brighten your energy field, getting things back on track. So it's going to happen quite quickly, I feel. So the block, yeah, surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting exactly it is as it is will bring you more peace. And that's really what I was picking up on as well, was that you're trying to push through things and you need to kind of relax and go, yeah, this is the way it is. You know, because there's certain things that you want to push through, but yet your fears you run from. And they want you to reverse that. They want you to run through your fears, push through that. But they want you to kind of relax about the control. It's kind of control issues, you know. Accept what is at this point, things that you can't change, right? The fear, though, and they're seeing it, the Aquarians seeing it as the opposite. The fear, I can't change that. That's a fear, I can't change. Yes, you can. You can conquer it, go through it, get to the other side of it, do it. If you don't feel like doing it, because it's really... that's the barrier when you start making real spiritual progress. So surrender to what is. That's your block, not accepting things as they are. So hopefully that helps you. You can gain some more insight. I really don't see you dipping into another relationship here. I think you're going to take your single time and do your single things and work on building your life up to a degree. I feel like, yeah, just everything came tumbling down here with this relationship. And it was just like a friggin' bomb went off, you know, like everything's just up in the air and out. And now you're just gathering, trying to get everything in one place. And you may have even been uprooted in a, what do you call that? Location-wise, like you may even have to be literally starting over, like you had to move out or something. So beware of that. So, yeah. Just surrender to what is, and you'll make more headway. That's the universe saying, come this way, it'll go quicker. You'll heal quicker, you'll get through quicker, that kind of thing. So hopefully that helps. Now, okay, we still have, thank you, Shauna, Aquarius, female couple, spawning. Good information as well. Well, great. Thank you, Brandy. That's awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we are on the last read. Is for the male couple, saving the best for last, right, Brandy? Okay, here we go. Male couple, Aquarian. You know, I often visualize myself doing these readings up in the north and sinking through like the ice melts, because I literally heat up about 10 degrees in my body when I do these sweaty readings, and I still don't understand why that happens, but it does, and it's crazy. It's like I'm sweating and my heart's beating, but sometimes people come in, right, and they get energy. I don't know if anybody's noticed this when they come in live, because the more I heat up, the more people are receiving it, is what I am taking it to mean. So if I have a few viewers here that need energy, it just goes as I'm doing this, because my intent is to help and heal, right? So as I'm doing a reading, I'm thinking that, and that's my intention before I come in. So whoever needs it will get it, receive it, right? So be aware that if you have any stories of realizing that energy going through, because a lot of this just goes and people don't even realize, right, what's going on. Sometimes I don't even, my best days. Okay. Aquarius, male, couple. Oops. We got some stubbornness going on here. I can't shuffle. That's what that means when I can't get the cards to get together. Somebody's being stiff with themselves. Stubborn. Okay. One. Whoops. On my camera off here. Could also be the shuffler too. Okay. Oh, this one. Sorry. That one goes so long. Zoning out. $8.55 a.m. behind the show. Pack her up. Sorry guys, I'm yapping too much today. A little long. Okay, here we go. Aquarius, male, couple. First card I get, and grab it, is the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is interesting energy because she's really been, I assign it to mean impressed to the point where they're in disbelief. There's something going on here. And I don't know if this is your partner's energy or yours, but I'll continue. There's somebody is really kind of resting and going, I can't believe this, like a shocking sense of happiness. And it's almost like it's a monk's change where they felt like there was a tunnel of darkness here, but then there's like a burst of happiness that come forth. So it's kind of like a good shocking surprise, okay? So that may be your partner's energy, like something in that way. Now, the next card I get, interesting. Okay. Here we go again. We got a pair. We got a match here, okay? We got a Queen of Wands and a King of Wands. So we have a pair in this Aquarius relationship that is not only soulmates, but we have, just let me tune in here. Okay. I'm getting that the woman in this relationship is very pleased beyond belief, but the man, there's something missing here. And I do not feel it is within the couple, okay? I feel like there's something missing within him. It's personal for him, not within the relationship. I feel like there's something he's trying to gain or attain. He doesn't feel whole, okay? But yet the woman in the relationship, the partner, is really having a great time. I feel no real negativity from her. In fact, I feel a higher rate of happiness within her. But as a couple, they're a pair. Everything's good. But he's got a cantankerous side here. But there's something that's missing. But again, it's not his partner's fault. And it's not because of the relationship. It's because of something within him personally. Something he's missing about himself. Okay, so he may not be, he may be resisting evolving in through all this spiritual process of things. He may be resisting that and feeling a void there. Okay, now the card I get from the messenger is see the signs. So there's a little bit of illumination going on around him, but he's not, they're showing him like totally distracted. He's not getting it. He's not seeing the signals from the universe that are trying to tell him where this emptiness lies. There's an emptiness that his partner's not meant to fill that. He's meant to fill it himself and then go outward. And there's something missing there. And he's trying to figure out what that is. And the universe is kind of really shouting at him, like giving him, and they're going even through music. If this comes through music, through everywhere, he's just really not tuning in, not expecting it, and not expecting it. Therefore, it just goes right over. He's not absorbing any of those signs from the universe because it's like they're busy. They're shouting out. They're throwing plates and signs and things at him, but it's just a coincidence. You know, he's brushing it off to a degree that he's not benefiting enough. He's not thinking enough about it, but he needs to do that. So I get into the tarot cards and I get the 10 of Wands. So, yeah, he's feeling burdened along with this missing piece. So he's searching for this missing piece, which is underlying root of everything. And therefore, he's feeling burdened with, you know, life, the heaviness, the weighing down of it all, right? So that's heavy on him. Now it's interesting. Okay. So, okay. Sorry, I translate stuff here. Now, what I've got here right next to the burden is the love card. So that's the feelings of love and going outward with that. Now, he's realizing that the burden that he feels within himself, he's having a hard time going outward to his partner, okay? So he's feeling that on top of the root problem, on top of the burden. He's feeling all of these things on top of each other and realizing that it's affecting the relationship. It's affecting things in a loving way because he's missing something. He can't go outward in a loving, purely compassionate way. And he's feeling this void, but he's not picking up on the signals, like the intuitive thing, right? Because here's the messenger. See the signs, man. Like they're shouting at you. There's something here that you're just, maybe that some of these Aquarian males in the couples, they are not spiritually, open. They don't want to look at it. They don't want to see it. Thinking that it might bring about something that's too hard for them to deal with. They have enough burdens. They don't need another one. They don't need the universe telling them they're doing something wrong. The thing is, the universe is really trying to shout out the positivity and make you feel happy from the inside. But he's shutting that out as well. But he doesn't realize it's positive because he's just not paying attention at all. So he's really got to look at his surroundings and be mindful outside. You know, he's trying to deal with life and the burdens, and that's really overwhelmed him to a degree he can't take anything else in. Okay, so the next card I get is the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is about leaving and traveling, going somewhere where it's calmer, more how do you say, more serene. Okay, now we're talking about a couple here, so there may be some turbulence that, and I don't know. Okay, here we go. I got to put these two together. This is the next card, is the Page of Swords. Okay, and the Page of Swords is really about getting to the root of things, of problems, situation, burdens, getting to the root of that, right? We want to cut to the chase, get rid of all of the stuff that is creating havoc in our life. And we also want to run away with it, run away from it, right? We want to deal with it, but we want to run away with it as well. And so that's the dichotomy here. The Aquarian male is really, one, he's feeling like, I got to cut all this stuff out. I got to deal with all this stuff. But yet I feel an inadequacy in him to do that. And also I feel like, you know, he just wants to bury his head and take off, right? Just wants to, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too burning, too much, too whatever. And I feel like this has more to do with all of those things that are piling up behind the relationship. And I'm saying behind it because it's before the relationship come in. It's the burdens of life, right? So the card that we get on top of all of that is stay strong. So that's really about, you know, the universe acknowledging, you know, we feel like we want to give up here, but we need to push through. Not only that, I feel like this is a pattern he needs to break. Because I feel like, one, he has ran in the past, and I feel like this running has really not served him well because he's not learned the lesson. He's ran from it. And this is why it's harder at this stage, at this age, right? It's harder. But nonetheless, we have a page here, and he's starting out and he's got his sword in front of him. So he's got a tool to cut what he needs to cut out. He just has to go forward in confidence and do that. So that's really what they're saying here, right? Is he just needs to stay strong with it. But he's really feeling he wants to bolt. He wants to run from it, but there's a knowing here that I can't, so I have to deal. But he's feeling inadequate in the dealing, so he's just kind of feeling that trap feeling. So the love card we get for the Aquarian male in a couple is show simple acts of kindness. They can energize you and bring happiness to those around you. So in the midst of all of this, right, all of this chaos, and Aquarian is a male sign, is an air sign, and he is going to be in his head a lot. So people outside of him maybe not going to understand that there's such a ruckus going on inside his head. He's kind of playing nice in front of everybody. He needs to go outward and deal with things within his partner, because I feel like the partner's there and they may not understand truly where he's coming from, but they're there and they're his match, right? That's his match. That's the ones. Like, these are a pair. So they're built to handle it. They're built to handle your shit. So unload it. Because not only that, they really will, it will deepen the relationship if you really just get grounded in uncovering that. And they're going, yeah, there's a real problem there with that. He doesn't want to show his vulnerabilities forward, is what's going on here. Hold on. Yeah, because if he lets out all of these things in his mind, right, his partner may look at him and go, well, I thought you had all this figured out. Like, you know, and doubt him and then undermine him and all this. So this is really why he's staying mum about everything, and it's all. And when you expand that outward, that stress, right, because that's what it's coming off of. When you expand that outward to your partner, one, your partner may have the solution just sitting there waiting to be discovered, but because you're not going outward, you don't get the answer. But they also share in the stress. And I mean, you don't want to share stuff, but at the same time, it can alleviate things and give you that other mind to come up with a solution. And it may not be like right away, but you may banter and come up with something, and then there's the problem solved. But if you keep it within yourself, right, it becomes more of a problem as time goes on. That's what I'm feeling here, is more of a problem as time goes on. So be aware of that. But yeah, showing simple act of kindness, it helps to energize you and everyone else. So just, stop and smell the roses thing, and key into the relationship, because I feel like your mind is somewhere else. Even though you're physically there for your partner, mentally you're just stressed. So share it and dump it, or dump it to somebody. Maybe if you don't want to burden your partner, dump it to somebody that you feel could, actually help you. But I feel like the partner, that's your match. So they are built to take it. So keep that in mind. So your block, it says, surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release patterns that stop you from opening your heart. And they're going, yeah, it's patterns. This is the problem. My father, my father's father, my dad. There's generational things that we give credence to. We give energy to the thought process of things. Well, they had a block with that, so it's okay. No, it's not okay. They had a block. We need to uncover the block. And this is really, they're going fear of intimacy, but I'm seeing it as that pattern behavior that's going, that you've seen through generations, and you just accept that as you just accept it because you've seen it through everybody that you've been with, but not seeing the solution here. So fear of intimacy, you're ready to let love in, identify, begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. And that's that vulnerability. And I feel like that's because they're showing me the difference here between opening up to your partner and shutting down. And that's really the key right there. That's intimacy. When you can show your true self, vulnerable points and all, weak points and all, fears and all, that is compassionate relationship, and that is an intimate relationship. So if we're not doing that with our partner, that's the fear of intimacy, and that's your block. That's your block. So you just need to go there, uncover that, or figure out a way to mentally, I think you have to mentally get groovy with it. I think you have to mentally put yourself through that in your mind first, and then you'll slowly start indulging in that. And then when you see that the partner's good for it, or that you can trust them, which if you're in a relationship with this male, Aquarius male, in a couple relationship, right? Be wary of that. Don't, what's the word? Tread softly when he's being vulnerable, because that's that you want him to do that because you want to know what's going on in this guy's mind. How else are you going to be intimate, right? So there's your block, fear of intimacy. That's what's going on. And then showing active kindness will kind of open that up and then help you naturally uncover that intimacy, right? Make you see it, showing acts of kindness. That's how it'll bring it out naturally in you. So hopefully that helped. Lots of energy here for these Aquarians. They're really dealing with a lot of fears, like across the board the Aquarians are. And the Taurus kind of maybe dealing with some chaos, some ups and downs, but the Aquarians are definitely dealing with fear in whatever way, right? The females are dealing with it different than the males, and things are just going. But that was the end of the line. So hopefully that helps a buddy out, or helps a woman out, or helps people out, and it can bring you forward. So that is the end of my love block series. So hopefully, like I said, my intent was to help you get through some barriers in relationship. And like I said, you may have things going really well, but even amongst that, there's growth. You just don't want to stay stagnant. You need to be changing and willing to change with things. And if you're not, then yeah, there are going to be, like, if you're stubborn about things, they need to be a certain way, then you are going to have challenges in that way. So hopefully that helps for most of the people out there that they come across it. That's all that I wanted when I set out to do it. So you're welcome, Vinny. Take care. Hope it out. Again, yeah, and just look back on the page and scroll down, and hopefully I headed it right. I put Pisces on there. And then if not, look up the YouTube videos. They're in there too as well. So, yeah, again, just want to take an opportunity again to highlight, not highlight, acknowledge what's going on in the States there with a lot of these shootings and stuff. Like, this is stuff that I pick up intuitively. But on a better note here, our future is held in the palm of these children's hands. And again, that's where I'm sending all my energies, to these kids. And I think we're going to make progress, but I see it as being a 4 to 5 step program here that we got to work through. And we're talking about the government, people against the government. So it's not going to be an easy fix. But I do see, how do I say, we just need to watch these children, see how they deal with stuff, because they're really, they're going to do it in a way that's going to set a precedence for future reference, right? So that gives me hope. That gives me hope, because the children have a lot more stamina. They're built with a lot more energy, and they're built with a lot more perseverance than those people in government. And I don't think they're going to see this coming. I think people in government were prepared to deal with the over 18 crowd on this, but they don't realize that the numbers may come from under, and they can do damage as well. And I don't say damage meaning destructive, I mean constructive damage. And to the government, we may be talking about a revolution here. Shouldn't be saying that. That's my thoughts. And the Americans all across the country are in my prayers. So take care and go get them. The youth of America, that's where it's at. So I just want to say that I'm given a lot of energy in that way. So take care.